Ninibong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today I'm coming back at you with issue 4 of the Transformers 1984 comic series from Simon Furman and IDW Comics. So if you want to go back and check out the rest of these issues, 1, 2, 3, you can check the playlist. It's round about here where we talk about all of these other 3 and go through them one by one. Today I'm going to be covering issue 4, and as this is the last issue, kind of, we'll be talking about the series as a whole. So if you want to go back, please go back and check out issue 1 and the entire playlist. So let's start by talking about issue 4 and this beautiful cover that we have here. Wow, this is a fantastic cover. Absolutely adore this one. Megatron really shining there, and with Grimlock as well. The art styles on this is absolutely fantastic. We open the cover up and we pick up exactly where we left off. So in the last episode we saw that Auntie, who is the computer on the Ark, the security system on the Ark, had actually brought back to life Megatron, because all of the kind of Guardians had been defeated by Grimlock, and we can see there that Grimlock had defeated all of these automatons that Auntie had created to defend the Ark, because Auntie saw Grimlock as a big threat. So she brought out the big guns and the biggest threat of them all, that being Mighty Megs. So when we open this one, we see Megs full on charging at Grimlock. Again, as always, the whole thing is narrated by Counterpunch, because he is the only person who can tell the story from both sides, which is the Autobot and the Decepticon side. So we see Megatron really going at it with Grimlock. They bust through the wall straight into the lava pit and out to the outside where the Coneheads already are, and they're like, what the, it's Megatron. So they're like, they're shocked. They're shocked to see Megatron, but they realize there's something wrong with Megsy's eyes, so it's probably something up with that dude, and they kind of signal to Grimlock as well that this is not the real for real Megatron, as they're caught up in their battle. But of course the Decepticons do what Decepticons do, which is, we're getting out of here, we're not dealing with that shiznit. So they get out and they just do one, basically leaving Grimlock on his Billy No Mates to deal with the mighty Megatron. Megatron goes at it full force. We actually get to see as well during this, we get to see Counterpunch transform from his Decepticon mode to his Autobot mode. Pretty nice. Pretty cool, because we have to go to another planet on Cybertron, where the Wreckers are just about to go in to do battle with Strax's forces, and this is pretty cool because this actually leads up to some historic shiznit in this one, which is pretty dope. So we get to see them, and the first thing that when they get to near Strax's kind of tower, which looks a little bit like the Eiffel Tower a little bit, they get attacked by Abominus. Abominus looking huge during this one, which means that Abominus, of course, has been around for years and years and years and wasn't quite the new combiner that everybody thought. The Wreckers are going full force against Abominus, trying to attack him, and then on the next page we go back to the battle between Megatron and Grimlock. And what's happening here is that all of this stuff coming out of Megatron is, we know that Megatron has to handle quite a lot of kind of antimatter energy that runs through him, and he can do this, but apparently Auntie cannot control this. So because Auntie can't control it the same way that Megatron does, Megatron goes kablooey, which leaves Auntie quite shocked, and then leaves bits and bits and bits everywhere. And Grimlock is actually able to invade the Ark, get in there, and do what Grimlock does. On the outside, Megatron is kind of falling down, and then he goes basically to sleep mode. Back on Cybertron, what happens here is we get to see, if you look, we get to see how Impactor loses his hand. So he lost it to the Terracons, and that's how he loses his hand. It gets bitten off there, which is pretty cool. So the first time we ever get to see in comics how Impactor loses his hand. So they're all fighting, they're having the big battle on Cybertron, but eventually the Autobots do succeed in this. And what's quite nice here is that at the end we see all of the Autobot leaders around the table, which is also a kind of a mirror image of what we saw in issue 3, where we saw all of the Decepticon leaders around, and then we get to see all of the Autobot leaders around. So I thought that was kind of a nice take that they did towards the end of it. And then once Straxus is defeated, the Coneheads tell him, "We saw Megatron," and his response is basically, "Shut up, I don't care." So that's why Megatron got left on Earth. Straxus knew about it all along. The Coneheads told him, but they did nothing. With Megatron and Anti defeated, all Grimlock does is basically chuck himself into what looks like a tar pit, ready to be discovered at a later date. And that's the end of Transformers 1984. If we go and look at the other covers, we could have got this cover is blinding, really beautiful image there. And then this is the one that I got, obviously cover B. Really like this cover, very, very, very nice. And then there was also this cover RI. I didn't get to see this cover. I didn't see it advertised on Forbidden Planet, where I get my comics from. But it's a nice, nice, nice looking cover with the Wreckers on the front. We also get an advert for Picard. And then, as always, at the back, we get Simon's wonderful commentary telling you how everything that happens in this comic relates to the other comics from the original Marvel Comics series with Godzilla and Lock and Key. And something else that I'm covering on this channel at the moment, if you want to see my review on Back to the Future, you can go here. Issue 1 is currently covered on the channel. I'm going to be covering issue 2 very, very soon once that comes out. So that's the end of the 1984 series. Overall, I believe that the series has been really, really good. I've really enjoyed it. I do believe, however, that it started off very, very strong and then tapered out kind of towards the end. There is a 100-page special coming later on this month, I believe, which is kind of a compendium to go with the entire story, so I'll be covering that again on the channel. But this is definitely the end of the story itself. Obviously, I can't say I hope they come back and visit it again, because it then continues in the Marvel Comics from back in the 80s. But overall, it was really nice. It was nice to go back into the Marvel Comics universe, and I really, really adore the way that Simon puts at the end of every issue how this links to this. This is why we've done this. This is now this. And I think that was just a fantastic touch on these comic books to really, really bring them to life and really add a little bit of depth and lore for people like myself who grew up watching these. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments on this. Is this a comic series that you've enjoyed? Is this something that you are really, really glad to have in your collection? Are you looking forward to the compendium that's coming out? And as always, think about giving me a like, a share and a subscribe, because it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!